Do you panic if you're asked to speak in public? Becoming a member of a Toastmasters club can help you to overcome this fear. Terry Barridge is an experienced Toastmaster who hopes to start a Toastmasters club in Warragul. Welcome to Network, Terry.
Good morning, Lynn.
Terry, how can becoming a member of a Toastmasters club help those who avoid speaking in public?
Well, that's an interesting question. Thank you. It's about building a person's confidence more than anything else, because I believe everybody speaks in public every day anyway, unless they have some medical problem. So it's really about developing the confidence to be able to stand there, be comfortable with yourself and talk to people, whether there's one or many. So Toastmasters helps build an individual's confidence.
It's a very different situation, isn't it, when you've got the formal setup of you out the front and X number of eyes peering at you.
Absolutely.
And some of them half asleep.
Yes, you have to wake some up.
and they can get those kinds of skills from Toastmasters.
Absolutely, yeah. And in a very comfortable and friendly atmosphere too, I might add, because everybody's supporting everybody else.
Everybody's in the same boat. And we're not just talking about becoming a confident public speaker, are we? There are other ways in which these skills that you would develop would enhance your life.
Certainly are. There's lots of situations you find yourself in, even perhaps being interviewed for a job. The impromptu skills that you learn in Toastmasters helps you think on your feet. Critical thinking is very important when you're in a pressure situation. So if you've got those sort of critical thinking skills that you've practiced in the club environment, then you're feeling a lot more confident and answer questions clearly. And it's really a huge advantage in the workplace.
The Toastmaster title may be a bit misleading. Is it limited to males?
No, it's not. As a matter of fact, there's only one restriction, and that is you must be over 18 years of age. It doesn't matter about anything else. You're invited into the club.
Well, what help could I get as a newbie?
Okay, that's an interesting question also. Everybody in the club helps each other and supports each other. But also for newbies coming in, we have what we call a mentoring system. So those with a little bit more experience are asked to mentor new people as they come in. So it doesn't matter, maybe you've only got 6 months in it or a month in it. You still know more than the person coming in generally about the things that you've learned. And so therefore you can help somebody else at their first stages. And that's a big help for newbies when they know absolutely nothing.
How does it actually run? Are there set topics?
No, there's not set topics as such. There are set roles throughout a meeting, so that we've got minor roles, so to speak, where you're only speaking for a short period of time, and it might be you're the timer, and you need to give a timer's report at the end of the meeting, who spent how much time doing what throughout the meeting, or you may be a speaker. If you're a speaker giving a prepared speech, then you get to select the topic of your speech. However, the workshop manual, so to speak, your competent communicator manual, has 10 projects, and each one of those are the building blocks of public speaking. So they cover things like getting to the point instead of waffling, how to structure your speech, using body language effectively and congruently, using eye contact, researching your topic, using your voice in the right way so that you can use proper vocal variety, and so it goes on. So they're building blocks that you can use in any speech on any topic. And it leaves people free to talk about things that they're more familiar with rather than things that they're not familiar with.
And that must surely be reassuring to people to know that.
Yeah, it certainly is. People feel a lot more comfortable knowing that they can talk about something that they know a lot about.
How much will it cost to learn these skills?
It's about the average cost of a cup of coffee a week in a cafe. It's not expensive at all, particularly when you compare it with what's available out there as far as specialist teachers. Warragul Toastmasters starting off with a joining fee of $40 and a half-year fee of $90. So initially to get in, it's the two combined, but once you're a member, then it's just the ongoing half-year fee.
Now, we spoke before about topics and choosing your own and speaking about those things about which you're passionate. Is there training in impromptu speech as well?
There certainly is, yeah. And I think that's the fun part of it. It's sometimes a little bit daunting because you've put so much preparation into a speech in your prepared one, so you've built your anxiety up a little bit before you get up and speak. But the impromptu is just on the spot, and there are no real strong rules about it unless you're in contests. So you can tell lies. You can have fun. You can invent things. You can be really creative in your responses. You don't have to answer the question. You can go off on your own tangent. We're looking at the methods that you use to speak and the structure that you can put in it, but whilst thinking on your feet. And I just call it a game. I think it's wonderful fun.
Terry, are you an instructor?
No, I'm not an instructor.
But a mentor?
I'm certainly a mentor, yeah. We don't have instructors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we don't have any instructors at all. Everybody learns off everybody else. So it's a peer pressure learning situation. And I find an authority figure will be able to tell you a certain amount of information. But if your friend tells you something like, you've been diagnosed with something and Aunt Mabel has fixed herself up with her favourite recipe, you try that before you go to the specialist. And we're all a little bit similar here. We actually take other people's opinion on board and go with that. So by using peer support, people learn a lot faster.
So I'm a Toastmaster. I've just given my carefully prepared speech.
Yep.
How do I get the feedback?
Yeah, that's two things there. One is you used the fantastic word feedback, because I think that's important. A lot of people say critique or criticise, and I ban that in the club. I don't think criticise is a good word. So feedback is an excellent word, and that's exactly what happens. And we use a sandwich method of feedback, and that is we give praise first. We find the strengths that a person has, and we praise them for those strengths and for the effort that they put into it, because the effort's more important than saying you've got a natural talent. And then we find a couple of things that may need improvement, and I call those the gifts. I think I'll give you a gift, and we also give examples. We don't just say you need to do this or this is the way it must be done. We give examples so that they understand the reasonings why and how you can do it. And then we finish off again with a point of praise so that they feel comfortable and go away with something constructive that they can work on.
Go away feeling warm about the experience. Yes, and that's the way to go.
The ultimate thing with, as we call them, evaluations, is we want them to come back and give another speech. We want them to grow and develop their skill. And that's the best way, I think, of doing that.
And you'd like to see that positive feedback that was given reinforced, but you'd also like to see the things that were done less well done better next time.
Absolutely, yeah. Without focusing on it too much so that it becomes a crutch for you, but certainly build on your strengths and be aware of those things that need to be improved.
Now, you're interested in starting up a Toastmasters club in Warragul,
yeah.
Terry, so how are you going about it?
I'm doing a lot of footwork. This is one way. I'm visiting all sorts of organisations, the hospital in Warragul. I'm leaving magazines in doctors' surgeries with flyers in them. I'm putting up flyers and notices in supermarkets and all sorts of other places around Druin, Warragul, Terralgan, Yarragon, all out around the surrounding areas as well. It's not for everybody, I understand that, and not everybody thinks they're going to be in a situation to speak in public, although often we are all at some stage called to stand and talk, whether it's just to give your daughter away at a wedding or to all of a sudden say something at a sports meeting and have to stand up there. And if you have that little bit of confidence and know the wherewithals that it is a lot of processes and elements that you can learn, then it makes you feel a lot more comfortable having to stand up and do it. But getting around the streets and lots of contact with people, and I'm meeting some wonderful people too in that process, and getting the word out there so that people come along.
Come along to where?
To where? Okay. We're having the meeting obviously in Warragul because we've called it Warragul Toastmasters. And let's keep the process simple. The KISS method is good so that people know that it is happening in Warragul. The venue that we have it at is CWA House in Warragul. But please don't just rock up there on the day. I'd love to know how many people are turning up, because if we get too many people, the room's not going to be big enough, and I may need to find an alternate venue for that night. So please contact me so that I can know who's coming. That'd be a wonderful thing.
So what are the contact details?
Okay. Email is toastmasterterry@gmail.com, and you can text me or ring me as well on my phone. mobile, which is 0419 318 981.
Well, thanks, Terry.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure and very much a new experience for me. And to be honest, 5-10 years ago, I probably would have been petrified doing this. However, the Toastmaster has taught me to be able to think on my feet, and it's been wonderful. Thank you.
Toastmaster Terry Barridge, who hopes to start a Toastmasters club in Warragul. The introductory meeting will take place on Thursday, March the 10th at 6:45 for 7 p.m. in Victoria Street, Warragul. Contact Terry if you want to know more on toastmasterterry@gmail.com or text or call 0419 318 981. You heard about it on network on 103.1 3BBR FM.